They're both on 11 to 2. Kildimo a 6 to 1 chance together with
the back protectors.
From a tactical point of view, John, there'll be tremendous competition for the lead here with Desert Orchid, Lanaride and Run. But they're off already, so over to you, Graham.
Lanaride missed the break and Strands of Gold was very slowly away. But they really do have a very long way to go. 24 fences to jump, over 3.5 miles. They're at the first, and Desert Orchid, they're all safely over the first. Desert Orchid leads from Memberson, and then comes Androma with the Quillifer on the inside of Run and Skip, normally a front runner. But Desert Orchid, ears prick, comes to take the ditch, jumps it superbly. They're all over the second, and it's Desert Orchid in the lead. Hasn't got as near as warm today as he has in the past. This grey out in front where he likes to be, leads by a length the Run and Skip and Memberson and Torside and Quillifer. Then Lanarine and Androma and Proud Pilgrim and Golden Minstrel. Then comes Kildimo, and on the inside Strands of Gold and GA is the back marker. But the grey, Desert Orchid, blazing a trail. Desert Orchid in the lead. From Run and Skip in second, and then comes Memberson racing third. And Androma a little bit wide, Strands of Gold towards the rear, and now they level up down towards the third. And it's Desert Orchid leading, and at quite a good pace, a sound pace, by 4 lengths to Run and Skip in second. And then comes Torside in third, and Memberson 4 and Lanaride 5. Quillifer and Golden Minstrel, Androma and Kildimo. And then Strands of Gold and Proud Pilgrim, and a beautiful jump again by the leader. A little bit of a mistake at the rear of the field with a horse with a noseband, Proud Pilgrim. But they turn into the back stretch, and it's Desert Orchid that leads by 2 lengths now to Run and Skip in second. Then in third is, on the inside, Torside. They come to the 4th fence, and Desert Orchid leading over safely. From in second place, Run and Skip. Behind these comes Memberson, and then Lanaride made ground to go into forward. Another superb jump by the leader. And so it's Desert Orchid in the lead, comes to take the ditch superbly from Run and Skip in second, and he's spread eagling his field. GA is finding the pace hot. That's last.
Well, Desert Orchid's corns don't seem to be worrying him today. So far, he's jumped as well as I've ever seen him.
Jumping completely out of his stride. And the one who's taken a while to warm himself up a little bit is Strands of Gold. He's been a bit sketchy over the first few, but he's jumping a little bit better now.
And interestingly, Lanaride has made no effort to go up and take Desert Orchid on. Maybe he can't, mind you, but he took a strong hold going down. I would think that almost certainly Guy Landor's intending to give him a bit more of a chance this year.
So they take the 10th, and it's Desert Orchid that leads. GA just making up a bit of ground. Perhaps Simon Sherwood has steadied the pace a bit. He certainly led them a merry dance over the first 3. And they turn now to face up towards the 11th. And it's Desert Orchid that leads. From Run and Skip in second place, with Memberson close up to him in third. And then comes Golden Minstrel in 4, Torside 5, Lanaride close up 6. They're just bunching up as they come down towards the 11th. And it's Desert Orchid in the lead from Memberson, Golden Minstrel, Androma making ground on the outside, Run and Skip on the inner, and Lanaride behind that one, and Desert Orchid leads as they come down towards the 11th. And Desert Orchid jumping boldly in the lead. Proud Pilgrim, and a little bit of a niggly mistake there. So they've completed a circuit in this 32nd running of the Whitbread Gold Cup. And it's the grey, Desert Orchid out in front. Run and Skip on the left of the picture in the yellow jacket, Memberson in the beige behind them as they take the 11th. The crowd really relishing this as they come down towards the 12th. This is an open ditch, and it's Desert Orchid in the lead by a length to Memberson. Run and Skip on the inside. Let's see how he jumps this. Oh, quite superbly the horse in front, Desert Orchid, and the knowledgeable crowd here really relishing this sight. And the order as they pass us, having jumped 13, is that Desert Orchid leads by a length. The Run and Skip, Torside makes ground on the inner, Lanaride close up, Memberson line across the track, Golden Minstrel only 2 lengths off the lead, then Androma and Kildimo, and then Strands of Gold, a Quillifer on the inside, and Proud Pilgrim, and GA is the back marker. So they head towards the 14th fence, and it's Desert Orchid in the lead. They swing right-handed, and Desert Orchid running a bit wide there and giving a bit of ground away, but still on the wide outside. Now shares the lead with Run and Skip. Desert Orchid from Run and Skip, who's come through on the inside. Behind these, Lanaride racing third, in fourth is Torside, fifth is Memberson, and then making ground on the outside all the time is Golden Minstrel as they take the next fence, and there Desert Orchid led. Another mistake at the rear of the field by Proud Pilgrim, a qualifier. The 11-2 favourite, not in the picture at the moment. Desert Orchid at 6-1. He's been in the picture throughout. It's been impossible to keep him out of it. And it's Run and Skip on the inside of Desert Orchid as they go down towards the 15th. It's Run and Skip and Desert Orchid racing wide. Desert Orchid in the lead from Run and Skip. Golden Minstrel, a slight mistake. A qualifier has got a lot to do. That's second from last at the moment as they take the 16th, and Desert Orchid, a superb jump there. He's jumping them into the ground.
Well, he's got to get a little bit further in front than that, John.
Yes, I think Simon's had things played his own way a little bit. Nobody's really been too keen to take him on, and the old horse has been lobbing along with his ears pricked. And as you said, he stood off a whole stride too soon, the first one in the straight there, and got easily as far the other side. But if his main problem was whether he was going to get the trip, and things have been going his way, he ought to get it.
It's very different this year. This is where he packed up last year.
It's 6 to jump, and Lanarai looks the one who's going to be packing up. That one's last, and a qualifier is well in arrears. But as they go to the 20th, it's Desert Orchid in the lead from Run and Skip on the inside. At the rear of the field, Lanarai making heavy weather of it. Desert Orchid in the lead by half a length to Run and Skip. Strands of Gold with the white steers are getting closer. Kildaimo has settled mid-division, but that one now makes ground to go into 4. Memberson 5, Androma is 6. At the rear of the field, GA is out of it. So too is Lanarai, but they begin the turn into the home straight. They've got 3 to jump, and Run and Skip now the leader. The horse with the white face. The grey is Desert Orchid. Kildaimo getting closer. Memberson behind these, and then behind these comes Androma. Strands of Gold is not out of it. The race opens up as they come down towards the 22nd, and it's the grey Desert Orchid now, who may have been given a breather by Simon Sherwood, comes to take the third from home, and it's Desert Orchid who leads there. From in second place, Run and Skip. Strands of Gold looks a big danger. That one's going through into third. Kildaimo the top weight with the yellow sleeves on the right of the 4 as they come down towards the second last, and the crowd warm for this now, and it's Desert Orchid in the lead from Kildaimo on the right. Strands of Gold in between them, and Kildaimo is travelling strongly. They come down towards the 24th and final fence. The grey on the left, Desert Orchid. On the right is Kildaimo, and at the last, Desert Orchid and Kildaimo jumping together. We've got a race on here. Desert Orchid in the lead from Kildaimo, and Desert Orchid goes on. Desert Orchid goes on by a length. The ring is being raised here at Sandown, and Desert Orchid wins the Whitbread. Desert Orchid, Kildaimo, Strands of Gold, the 1, 2, 3. Then Proud Pilgrim and Run and Skip and Androma, and Memberson and Torside behind these. Golden Minstrel, and the favourite was Aquilipa, beat only one. That was GA. I have never, ever heard the crowd warm to a horse like they warmed the Desert Orchid. This was a spectacular performance, a superb jumping exhibition by the most popular horse in training. That's number 2, Desert Orchid, owned by Mr. Richard Burridge, trained at Whitbread by David Ellsworth, the 6-1 front-running winner of the 32nd running of the Whitbread Gold Cup, ridden superbly by Simon Sherwood. Second home was number 1, Kildaimo, brilliantly ridden by Jimmy Frost, beaten by a better horse on his day. The third horse home is number 10, Strands of Gold, who lost nothing in beating in all the others, bar 2 of the best horses in training. Simon Sherwood has won the 32nd Whitbread, and just spare a thought for Colin Brown, his regular rider who retired at Cheltenham this year. He's probably watching at home, and I hope, Colin, you'll have a drink with us from Desert Orchid.
Yes, there'll be drinks at the Ibex Collins pub. What a horse this is. They said last year he wouldn't stay 3 miles. This year a lot of people thought he wouldn't stay 3 miles, 5 furlongs. But beautifully ridden by Simon Sherwood, he showed them.
Simon's ridden a copybook race on him. He's led all of the way, or most of the way, given the horse a lovely breather from the last on the far side, and I shouldn't think he ever thought that he was going to get beaten from when they turned for home. He really is a lovely jockey, and as you say, it's tremendous horse this.
Must have been a bit of an ominous sight though when he saw Kildaimo coming up sides. This is the horse who beat Desert Orchid at Wincanton, don't forget, but the Grey's got plenty left. He absolutely pinged the last, and up the hill there was never going to be any doubt about it. Kildaimo's tail goes round a bit. He's had enough, but Desert Orchid hasn't. This is his 21st victory, and the noise, well, oh, he's getting the welcome he deserves. No wonder Simon's delighted slap. And I think up till now it was Millhouse who got the biggest welcome after winning a Whitbread that I've ever heard. It was in the days after Arkle had retired and Millhouse, after so many defeats, came back to win the Whitbread here. I believe that the welcome you'll see and hear now will equal that, if not excel it.
Thunderous applause echoed round the stands. The crowd absolutely delighted, whether they backed it or not. They've seen one of the great racehorses, one of the great steeplechasers of the century, most popular, Desert Orchid, return the very best prize it ever was on the course, 6-1. The second Kildimo is also a 6-1 chance, and the third Strands of Gold went off at 6-1. They sent Aquilifer off, the 11-2 favourite. But the welcome that Desert Orchid will get, as the noble lord said, it'll match Millhouse's so many years ago. But you should have been here at Sandown. You should have heard the crowds as they roared it in. They absolutely relish Desert Orchid.
And that's the magic area into which he's going to walk in a moment. I wonder whether, like Brown Jack after his 6th Queen Alexandra Stakes, he'll wait until all the crowd are back. Let's hear the welcome.
Happy scenes. Desert Orchid, his owner Richard Burridge, and Janice Coyle at his head. Janice, who has looked after him through, and I have to tell you, Simon Sherwood is congratulated there, has tears streaming down his face. It's a very, very special moment, this, the day that Desert Orchid won the Whitbread. Here he is. What a splendid, to say he's a servant, it's almost as if everyone serves him.